Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching Gilmore Girls, Season 2, Episode 2, Hammers and Veils. Good?
Sure.
Yeah.
Where this season is just kind of like...
It's off to a slow start.
Yeah.
We're like, it's still summer, so it's like still very soon after the Season 1 finale. Because this is like, Lane hasn't even left for her trip until the very end of this episode. So that continues through this episode. She leaves at the very end of it, but she brings over a ton of boxes of like her music and movies and stuff to Rory to like keep it safe while she's out of the house. I guess the biggest thing is that Lorelai finally tells Emily that she's engaged, and Emily's just like, oh, well, I hope we're in town, because she already knows, and Lorelai like waited too long. And so she just is sort of like dealing with that the whole time. When she's on that date with Max, and she, like, directs him to her parents' house. First of all, he has no control over her.
No, not at all.
It's hilarious watching him try to be like, I don't think this is the right time. And her just being like, you don't know anything. So she goes in, she yells at Emily, like, a lot about how she really thought she'd be excited, but she should have known. She, like, should have guessed that she wouldn't be excited or whatever. And Emily finally hits back and she's like, well, I would have been excited, but a complete stranger is the one who told me. And so, like, how do you think it made me feel that you didn't tell me that you were getting married? And Lorelai has to very tail between her legs.
Yeah.
Leave the house. So it actually wraps up nicely because to, like, make peace, Lorelai goes to the Gilmore house and she's like, I'm really sorry. I didn't tell you. We have, like, terrible communication and I was, like, scared of how you'd react, and so I just, like, waited too long, but I don't want to be like that anymore. Do you think I should wear, like, which of these veils should I wear? And I love that Emily's able to, like, get a dig in there still, too, because she's like, your head's too big for a veil. You should wear a tiara. It's just sweet. I thought it was, like, a nice wrap-up.
Yeah.
For that. I thought it was cute.
Well, especially because she was like, why a tiara? And Emily was like, that's what I wore. So obviously she's like, wear mine.
So cute.
Yeah.
So cute. I'm going to tell you right now, never once does Lorelai wear a tiara that belongs to Emily.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I agree. A big bummer.
Oh, hey, did you know that Lorelai and Max are getting married in 3 months and he's going to be in Toronto for 2 of them?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is the rush?
I don't know. Well,
he wants to keep her.
I think it's like, what you said at the end of the last episode, where it was like, he's got to pin it down.
So weird.
Super weird. Doesn't make any sense. It's such a rushed engagement, especially with him being gone for 2/3 of that time. I mean, Toronto isn't, like, the farthest place away from Connecticut, but
still,
it's
like,
not close.
He's not going to be there for any of it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, they're doing it all themselves, planning it all themselves. His parents are giving them $140 in $35 installments, which is adorable.
Yeah.
She thinks it's very cute too. It just doesn't. It's like so hard talking about this because it's like nothing actually like comes of anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what are we supposed to do here? Suki is planning the engagement party the whole time, and so she's trying to get Michelle to decide between like a chocolate cookie and a macaroon. The chocolate cookie is whatever. The macaroon is weird.
Yeah. They just look like 2 giant sugar cookies.
Yeah. So if it's a coconut macaroon, it's more normal, but it's too big and too flat. So it's I just don't understand why were we pretending it's a macaroon? And if it's a French macaroon, Suki needs to go back to culinary school.
Right.
Because I can make a French, or macaron. I can make a better one than that. Regardless, she's got like a whole thing. It's very cute. She's doing like little desserts and everything. The whole town is planning this engagement party. It is very adorable. They have it in the town square. Lane is the DJ. Kirk has a bullhorn. And he's like going around just like shouting. And then he makes this comment. There's like, so Patty's got a bunch of little girls, little tap dancing girls dressed up as brides in the gazebo doing like little dances to love songs. And he literally goes, I wish I could have checked the supports under the gazebo before all those little heifers got up.
Hoofers, not heifers.
Okay, I maintain that they're the same. Like, he's calling those little girls fat.
No, but hoofers because they're tappers.
Is that what you call a tapper?
No, but I mean, it's like, that's what he means more than, he's not calling them fat. Hoofers just because they're doing this.
Okay, I didn't think he was doing it in any kind of hateful way. Yeah. Like, look at those fat little girls. But I've always thought that he's like,
no,
for all that weight was up there.
No, because it's like, that's more of like a clogging term, because clogging is different than tapping.
Yeah.
Because there's more heels involved a lot with clogging, and so they sound like they are hoofing it across. He's not calling them that.
I think he's calling them
that. No, he's not. They're not.
Regardless, it's very funny how concerned he is about, like, the potential frailty of the gazebo. It's very silly. Jackson also finally confronts Suki because she's just, like, so excited about, like, Lorelai's happiness. And she, you know, like, some people just really like weddings. But he is taking it to that she's saying, or trying to imply that she wants to get married, like, very soon. This conversation is going to be hilarious down the line.
Okay.
In retrospect. Okay. There's going to be something that Jackson says where you're like, but you were this concerned about getting married like a year after you started dating?
Okay.
So yeah, Jackson is like, I am not ready to get married, but I understand that this is important and, like, moving forward in the relationship is important, so I would be willing to move in. And Suki is like, move in where? And he's like, with you. And she is just beside herself.
Because she thinks he's joking.
Yeah. She thinks, like, the whole thing, because at no point is she implying that she is, like, raring to get married.
Yeah.
So it's very funny. And then she just is, like, doubled over laughing, and he's, like, chasing her across the square being like, I'm serious. And, like, it's very good. So I guess the other big thing is Rory's doing summer school 3 days a week. I guess just, like, for funsies and, like, extra credits and stuff. She's taking, like, obscure Russian literature and, like, 2 other things. I don't remember what she said.
I don't remember.
She runs into Paris, Madeline, and Louise. So Teal Redmond is wearing a wig. It doesn't say why.
Okay.
That's just one of the pieces of trivia. It just says Teal Redmond's wearing a wig.
That is the wiggiest wig to ever wig.
We can see it.
Yeah.
I assume she was doing another project and maybe had to have brown hair or something. Either way, Madeline, like, forgot that they're not speaking to her. So she's being friendly and nice. And Paris and Louise are like, Madeline, stop. And so she's trying to sign up for extracurriculars. She decides to sign up for, like, a Habitat for Humanity type of thing. And Paris is like, no, you shouldn't do that. It's horrible. It's outside. It's sweaty. It's, like, hammering and drilling in dirt all day. And she's like, why don't you want me to do this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, she ends up doing it, not before getting into kind of a snit with Dean. Because he's like, at her house, you made a good point.
At 8:30 in the morning.
You want to hang out?
No, I don't, sir. If you showed up at my house at 8:30 in the morning, first of all, empty-handed.
Yeah.
So
not even a coffee.
Right. No coffee, no Danish, no nothing. Yeah. Get the hell out of my house.
Yeah.
But then be like, you want to hang out? No, motherfucker, I do not. Maybe hit me up at like 10.
Yeah.
Weird.
A summer day. No coffee. Before 10 a.m.
Get out of here.
Weird. So she's like, no, I have to do this thing. Maybe we'll hang out tonight. Well, as predicted, after a day of building houses, especially where Paris tells her that she's been doing the Habitat for Humanity for years because the Ivy Leagues love stuff like that.
She's been doing everything for years.
Lots of extracurriculars. So Rory is then predictably freaking out because she has no extracurriculars. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? So then she and Dean get in an actual fight because he is being rigid and very needy.
Yeah.
He's like on the one hand, he's like, well, we just got back together. I thought you'd want to spend time with me. Kind of fair.
Mm-hmm. But maybe, like, talk about that first before just showing up and expecting her to want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not that important.
Yeah. No, it's horrible. So they
just don't like him.
He's not great. So they get in a big fight, and she's like, it's about Harvard, and then he is like she calls him a 2-year-old, and he kind of is being one. He's like, oh, well, I forgot it was about Harvard, and it's like, okay, she has goals, and that should be a good thing. And you're acting like it's a burden when really all it is that you're butthurt that your girlfriend doesn't have time to hang out with you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it's summer. We're supposed to just be like kicking back. And it's like, Do you know
your girlfriend?
It's not really how it works. She's not really like a kickback type of person anyway.
Neither one of these men know these Gilmore women.
No.
So I don't, I actually cannot believe that he hasn't just called it quits because of Harvard, because he's clearly not going. And he's like, well, clearly Harvard is more important than me. So, and I can't compete. So we should just call it.
It's not like it's not that it's more important. It's just that it's more, it requires more.
You are correct.
Yeah.
But he seems like the type that would be jealous of an institution.
He does admit to that as well. Like, he admits to being jealous of Harvard, which he then says, which is crazy, but it doesn't stop him from being jealous of a university.
Yeah.
So they end up making up. Lane leaves. Luke is not at the engagement party until Lorelai goes to tell him. She's like, this is really important to me, and I want my friend there. And so he goes out, and then he sits next to 3 little of the little tap dancing.
That was a cute
heifers.
Heifers. Hoof, 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 hoof.
But yeah, it's cute. And so he's like there. And that was when we found out that Max is going to be gone for 2 months. Insane. Yeah. Also, like, summer school is happening. Does he not have any? Nobody's taking an extra English course as a summer school? Come on, man. Ridiculous. I think that actually is mostly it. Not like a very packed
not a whole
episode.
Lot
just
happened.
Like mostly well, we did meet Tom, the contractor. He is kind of a running like tertiary character through the thing. Whenever there's like someone doing construction or like anything, Tom is the like foreman, I guess. Henry.
Oh yeah.
Henry is still trying to date Lane, but it's like very hard because he has her phone number, but Mrs. Kim always answers the phone. So he got really scared because apparently he called and hung up 12 times.
Yeah.
And then on the 13th time, Mrs. Kim answered and said that she was going to have the FBI track the call and throw him in prison. And he was like, I know that that's not how it would happen, but she seemed like sure enough that she could get something done. So he gave Rory his phone number to give to Lane.
Yep.
To call. That's kind of it for that. And the like Paris, I think I told you before, it's like a while before she fully lets up, but there's like not a lot more of this like really aggressive like attitude.
Cool.
So, yeah, that is, oh my God, episode 7 is so good. Okay. I was trying to be like, when is it exactly? And yeah, it's like, like mid season 2, they're like pretty good going forward. Okay, yeah, so that was basically it for episode 2. We are gonna go watch episode 3 and we'll be back.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.